Hello. As you may notice, my Billiard Software site is unreachable, and the reason is I destroyed the server because uh, I don't need to run the whole server for just the site itself. And today I am decided to rewrite it using Hugo, and I will host it on somewhere that I can deploy static sites. And if you look at my Billiard Software video, you will learn more about the Billiard Software itself. And today's video is not that much, style oriented because I just want to get it done. And the idea behind the site is not attracting potential clients. It's just giving information to people who is looking for a solution like this and make it more accessible rather than making it super shiny. Okay, so let's start our Hugo project with Hugo new site. I will name it as Billiard.software and I will get into that. Okay, we have our files here. If I remember, we should create a directory called underscore defaults, and inside that we need a file called baseof.html. This is the file that's being loaded and being used on all of the pages. If I do I have a HTML snippet? No. Okay. We're gonna need the title, and we're gonna need char sets like this, and also I want the HTML meta responsive tag, which is the tag that's viewport tag. Okay. And okay, we kind of have our base off, so I will add what we are adding here is what we have. Is it template or I just forget it because I am not making too much sites. Oh, it's called block. Okay, block. I will name it as body. I will end it. Probably need to add the dots as well. Yeah. Okay. Now we have our body. Then next is we're gonna have a index page, and we can have some other pages as well. So for the index page, I will need to go to the layouts, and inside here I will create a new file called index.html. It will use the body that we defined. Let's test it out. So yeah, I have to start sites with Hugo serve localhost 1313 page not found, because in order to show the main page, I think we gonna need a we're gonna need to create the content file called index.md. It still says not found. Okay. Wait a minute. Yeah, the files that I created are created inside the roots folder, not the content or layout. Yeah, because I decided to move back to Vim, and in my configuration I decided to use the netrv instead of nerd3, and right now I am eating the fruits of it. So I will move the index.html to layouts, and I will move index.md to the content. Now we have our text coming here, and if you look at the source, we should see our meta tag. Oh yeah, viewport and title. Okay, it's working. Now what I can do is I can just create something called tasks.txt to define what we are going to build. So for the first and initial version of the site, what we need is we need to have a homepage, and that should contain inside the homepage. What I want to see is what is this solution does. So welcome area that explains what the software does. Okay. What else we need to show on the homepage? We can show screenshots, or we can list the features. I am thinking, what is important for our potential user. So maybe listing features, at least some core features, could be helpful. So what else is you're gonna display the core features, welcome area, and I am thinking maybe we can add some screenshots, and do we need to show the current state? I don't think so. Probably those stuff is enough. So it is enough to create some curiosity about the product, project, whatever you call. What else? What kind of page we will need is we can have a contact page, so I can give people a some contact information to contact with me. What we can say is give people some way of contact, and I think that's for the page wise it is enough. We can have a partials, and each partial we're gonna need a header, we're gonna need a footer, and footer will contain GitHub, and yeah, footer can contain the GitHub link so people can see the source. What else? Footer with GitHub and year and some sort of a copyright. But we can call it copyright. created by me. Are we gonna have another partial that can... We can convert the welcome into a partial, and we can convert core features into a partial as well. Yeah, that's I think enough. Okay, let's go to I am not sure is it gonna create that, so let's go to the layout, and inside here I'm gonna create a partials directory, and inside the partials I will create header.html. I'm gonna create footer.html. Yeah. Okay, we are not in Git repo, so I will git init. Not in Git repo. Oh, I initialized Git in the layouts, so let's remove the Git here. Yeah, now initialize the Git. Now I have access to files, but nothing added to it. So whatever, I can just use that. So, I will go to the base of and add my partial header.html, doing it right. Yeah, I started to forget the Hugo itself. Yeah, we create partials folder. Can just call it like that. Okay. We will need to pass the context, so I will add dots as well. Footer. So in the footer, just the footer itself, header. Yeah. And I am not thinking to use Tailwind. We don't need that much complexity. I can just use plain CSS. I want to do it in a Hugo way. And that means is I think I have to go to the assets and create my main CSS file. To test it, is it working or not? And we will have to go to base of and load our style sheets rel href. And I think we have to load it first with Hugo. Not in the templates, maybe in Hugo pipes. Post CSS, I guess. Yeah, with resources.get. Maybe we don't need post CSS as well. Okay. With resources.get main.css and we need to call the ends. Okay. Dot rel permalink. Okay, let's test it out. Yeah, we have our disgusting red color. Okay, that means our CSS is loaded. Cool. So let's go to header. I call it as header, and I am thinking more of a slim layout rather than a wide one, because right now we don't have that much information and I don't want to do the responsive kind of stuff. So inside the header, what we're gonna have is we're gonna need some sort of a logo or brand name, and then a simple menu. So what I can do is I can create a nav. Yeah, I will create a nav, but before that I can create a div, and to make it standardized, I can create a container class, so it will take that stuff for me to, you know, standardize the container sizes. And yeah, inside that I will create another div and call it header inner, or like that. And I'm gonna have my lovely brand name, and inside the nav I'm gonna have the links. So what links we're gonna have is pretty simple. I will have the GitHub, and I will have the contacts, and maybe docs. Yeah, you're gonna need a documentation. I get a class called header now, header brands. Yeah, slash docs. I had the target blank because I want to open the GitHub on a new page. Contacts. Right now I don't have a GitHub repo ready for it, so I will just add github.com. Right, for now, yeah. Yeah, I think that's works for us. And I will come here, open my main CSS, create the container class first. It will be max width of 800 pixels. Take all the width available, and I will make it centered. Look at that. It's super fast, yeah, to develop. And okay. For the header, we don't need something much right now. For the header inner, create something called display flags, and I will align them center, and I want to be I want the logo or name on the left and the menu on the right. So what I want is space justify content, yeah, space between. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. And for the header now, I want it to be display flex as well, because with that I can give it a gap. I'll start at 8 pixel. And to be cautious, I will add align items center. Yeah. And for the links, header now A. I want to disable text decoration. And I want to get rid of this background color. And yeah. I can give it a black color. And I can increase the gap, by the way. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I will give the header some padding from top to bottom, like 10 pixel, and for the left and right it could be 10 pixel as well. It will be something like that. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, I should give the Billiard Software text a link to redirect us to the home page. That means I have to style the header brand as well. Text decoration, none, color black. Cool. And I want to increase the font size to 18 and font weight bold maybe 20, and I want to change the font, so built in CSS fonts. Do we have something? Okay. I can go with Arial because it's simple and it's comes with the browser. Font family, okay. So to make, I want to apply it to the all of the texts on the site. So I will add star here. It's not a command star, just star. Fonts family. Arial sans serif. Okay, yeah, it's applied. Beautiful. And what else? What else we need? Okay, I think for the header we kind of structured it. I would like to quickly move to footer. For the footer, what we're gonna have, I will have the same container here, and I will add a footer class. Beside that, I can add this class. Beside that, I'm gonna have a text created by and I can give my link. And I don't want people to lose the site, so I will type of blank. And I want to add the year, or the year is not required because, you know, it's not giving value to the site. You know, who cares the site it's created, you know, when it's created. So we don't need the year, but we will need some links, I guess. And I will add another now here, but it's going to be footer now. It will contain like GitHub and maybe contacts and maybe docs as well. Yeah, it will be quite similar to the what we have here in the header. Again, I will add the GitHub, and I don't want people to lose the sites. Yep. Do we add a comment where we end header? Yeah, we can add like this. I don't have style state the footer right now, but what I can do is go to the footer inner. It will again be display. Okay, yeah, I can make it display flex, but I will change the direction. What is it? Column, yeah, column, and I will give the gap of 10 pixel. And can we center it? Yeah, it is centered. Okay. And I will give this guy a class footer info. I don't want to say copyright. Footer info. Font size will be, it don't have to be too big. Just lower it, yeah. And for the link we have in the footer info, I can just remove the text decoration. Yes. Okay. And for the footer now, we can make it say flex, and I will also make it column, and the gap going to be 4 pixel, maybe 6, and I would like to center it, and let's style the anchor tags, you know, text decoration, color, yeah. I think also I can lower the font size as well for this stuff. And we can increase the gap between the info and links to maybe 16 or even 20. Is it working? Yeah, it is working. Cool. Okay. Now I think that's enough for the header and footer. It does job. It just does the job. So we can move on to content. I think we have to oops, what's going on? I can go to the layouts, partials, create welcome HTML for the welcome area, touch features HTML, or core features. Yeah, because I am thinking to make it, I'm thinking to add Billiard Software a plugin system, so you can create your own plugin and attach it. For example, for the payment methods, there are a lot of payment methods available in different countries. So it should be something like that. So people can just detach current payment methods and attach their own one. Yeah. Okay, I will go to the index.html, not md, index.html. Inside here, I will call welcome HTML. Can add the context. And on the base of HTML, I can just cover this as its main. give it a container. And let's start with the welcome. You can make this section, and it can contain a h1 because it is the most important text. And I will just write Billiard Software. Description of the welcome area. I don't know what to write here yet. Give it a welcome section, or just name it as welcome. Yeah, it's going to be welcome title, welcome texts. Yes, let's go to the styling. We have our welcome title, font size like 28, maybe 32, or even 38. Yeah. And for the text, you can set it to 18 pixel. And they had too much gap because of the margin of the H1. So we can just come here and reset those stuff. And I can add the padding as well. Sorry, paragraph tag as well. Okay, they don't have default paddings. And also we can add the body as well, because it has margin by default coming with it. Yeah. And also, as you can see here, we added 10 pixel padding to our header. That means we have to apply it to the main content as well. What I can do is I can go to base off, and let's just do something like that. I know it's not looking cool, but I like it. And inside here we can do main inner, I will be adding padding 10 pixel to each of the direction. Also we can do the same thing for the footer. Padding 10 pixel. Okay. But these are not matching with this. Because we apply the padding So just header. We have to edit the header inner, I guess. Now they are aligned. Yeah. Okay. What else I need? I need to give it a space because it's just looking hilarious. So for the main inner, I can add more space for top and down, like 50 pixels. Yes, and for the welcome area, I can add a margin for the title, like 10 pixel, and what else we need is yeah, I think that's the job. Okay, we can move on to core features. It's going to be section as well. Let's say the container. Inside the container, we're gonna have inner. Can add a title. These titles are going to be some generic titles, you know. After the main welcome area, those all H2 titles are going to be same style. So we have to make them standardized. So I will give it a class called title H2, not creative, but does the job. So let's come here, title H2. Makes font size like 20 or 24. Font weight is going to be bold. Yes. Okay. Then I will come here. We're gonna add. Okay. I need to add spacing for each section. What we can do is since we all going to store our blocks as sections, and our main content will only contain sections, so we can just make our main inner a flex and make its direction column and give it a gap. Instead of every time giving margin, we can just give it a only single one gap, and it will handle the rest. And call it like 50 pixel. And also we should make the body flex because the footer should be pushed down. It's not looking good right now. So what I can do is to go to the files, the base off, and what I can do is, since we gonna only have one body, I can just come here, make it flex, make the flex direction column, and yeah, nothing will change as you can see, but I'll go to the main and make it flex 1. So it will take all the available space, but it's not taking that because On here we have to say min height to be all screen available for us. Yeah, it is now taking all the available space. Let's check it. Yes. And if you don't know what is VH, it's the screen size, screen height, vertical height, I guess. And it's if we give it 100, it takes all the 100% of the screen size. So if we move to a mobile phone, it will also pick the 100% of that display. Okay, we now have our core features section and welcome section. So in the core features, you know, you can list the core features. Feature 1. And yeah, we can add some creative text here. And like H2, our sections, generic sections, will also share the same style for the paragraphs. Give it a paragraph class. That's paragraph. It can be 16. Yeah. And for the title H2, I am thinking to give it a margin bottom like 10 pixel. And let's standardize the list and call it list. Yeah, it's going to be flex. Spacing is not looking right. Yeah. Flex direction, column, the gap. The gap between each list item can be 6 pixels, maybe even 8. I think it has some margin padding. Yeah, we have padding left. So I can limit the padding left. But that will cause that to push the dots to outside. So for that we have lists. Wait a minute, let me check that. CSS lists decoration inside this style position. And yeah, right now by default, as I know, it is outside, and that causes that to go out. List style position inside. Now, yeah, they are inside. Yes, okay. We can list our features here. What else we think for the homepage? Yeah, we thinking for screenshots. Okay, let's create the screenshots partial. Okay, and it's going to have container as well. Container. And inside the container, we're gonna have screenshots inner class. Inside that, we're gonna have our generic h2 screenshots. It was going to be title h2. Here are some screenshots. Yeah, here are some screenshots. Paragraph. Okay, it's not visible because we did not edit yet. And for the screenshots, we can have some sort of a grid that can I'm not thinking for a slideshow slider. There is no need for that much image, but it can be 3x2 grid. It will be enough. So for that, we can do this. Okay, let's call it as screenshots grid. Screenshot grid item and the image. So we're gonna list our images here like that. So let's find something we can use. Okay, wait, I think we can use that. I will just copy that image address. Oops, I did something wrong. Okay. We still did not edit yet, so let's edit here. Onto the base of, not base of, not index.md. Index.html, yeah. Under the core features, we can add our screenshots. Yeah, beautiful. Now, let's come here. Screenshots. Inner and screenshots grid. Screenshots grid item and item image to access the image. So for the grid, we're gonna call it display grids. And as I remember, we have grid templates, columns, and each column going to be share the same width, same available width. So that's why I wrote 1fr. It's probably doing that right now, but the images are just picking all the space available. So I will give them with 100%. It's not working. So let me check that. Okay, we have our grids, template columns. Okay, let's look at CSS grids to learn how it works. Display grids. We have gaps. We have starts. This CSS grids templates columns. Yeah, that's basically looks like how I did it. we have to say the grid item, you know, you need to obey that. Shots, inner, screenshots, screenshots. Oh, I forget the S here. Okay, adding with 100% fixes that or not? Yeah, it looks like fixing it. Yeah. Okay. Now we need to add some gap. Do they have gap between each other, or what's this line comes from? Where is this line coming from? I think we have some sort of a gap, default gap, or not? No. There is no gap. It's because the height of it. So what we can do is come here and add some gap, like 10 pixel. Yeah, it's adding that. Okay. So I will add some gap between each other. And yeah, also it's too close to the description. Maybe adding a margin top for the grids. Yeah, okay. Now we have our grids. And yes. Okay, I think it's quite enough information for the homepage. So we can now move on to making it responsive. At least make it not get broken for the mobile. You can start by the header because it's not usable right now on the mobile. So what we can do is we should define the breakpoints, and from somewhere like that we can count it as mobile, like 510 media, screen media. Let me remember, media only screen, and I think max width. And then we can define whatever we want. So what we want to do is we want to make the header inner display column. Sorry, flex direction column. Yeah, and instead of making it centered, we can just align it to the left, or we can keep it like that. I think we can keep it centered, but we also need to add a gap because it's too close to each other. Maybe even 20 or 16. Okay. Well, it's not looking centered. Do we have some sort of a gap? No. Or, oh, okay, there is some nav going on. I don't know the reason. Let me check that. The reason is we did not close the nav. We close it. Yeah. It is centered now, and there is no extra nav. Okay, it is now usable on the mobile. Okay, for the screenshots, it is 3x2 now, and when we move on the mobile, we can make it only one column. Let's do this again for here. screenshots. Screenshots grids. And make the grid template columns 1FR. Yeah. Now, after the breakpoints, the grid items will take all the available space. Okay. And what else? Maybe we can change the welcome title for the mobile because it's looking too big. What we named it is welcome title. It's 38 font size, so maybe we can make it 24. And if the H1 is 24, the H2 should be more smaller. You can update the title H2. Title H2, and we can make it font size 18 pixel or 20. And also we can lower the paragraph font size to 14. That means we should lower the welcome text to 20. Sorry, it's 14. Now I think we can change the colors. Black and white looking good. We need to add a grayed out text color for the paragraphs. So HTML color picker. So on the somewhere like that, maybe 42 could be cool. Try it out by applying it here. It can be more lighter, like that. Let's try it. Okay. And for the titles, we can go with something like that. Here, I want to use the 2 instead of this. Okay. And for the welcome area, we should use the same colors. What we are using, yeah, this one. Okay, now they share the same color palettes. We can apply this gray to this one as well, which is called footer navigation info. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the. We can apply this color for the navigation items, but I want this one for the info. Yeah. The links can have different color. like something blue. Let's try this one. It's not gonna affect them because they let's try it with this one. Yeah, now it takes that, and globally we can disable the text decoration. It could be darker. Yeah. Okay. And if we add a link to the page, it should be look like this one. But for the menu navigation links, they are special, so they're not gonna use the same color. But they can have a hover effect to, you know, make them look clickable. For doing that, we can go here, dot header, now a hover. When we hover that, we can get back the text decoration. Yes. Or we can change the color to the blue. Yes. And instead of rewriting all the colors, we can use CSS variables. In order to achieve that, we have to come up here, do this root thing, and to define a variable in CSS, you're adding 2 dashes and your variable name. We can name it as text, or you can create blue. We can have black, which is going to be 222. Can have black lights, could be 6. And to use the variable in our code, we will use this var function. So for example, to give the blue color to our links, we'll just use that, and it's working. Okay, now apply it to all the colors. Type 2, it's going to be black, and paragraph is going to be black lights. For the header navigation, however, it's going to be blue. And footer info is going to be black lights. Yeah. And footer navigation item is going to be black. But when we hover it, I want it to be blue. Yeah, for the welcome title, it will be black, and the text will be black lights. Okay, everything looking the same, so that means our code is worked. And I think we can change the brand color to our new black instead of the default one. Yeah, we have using the generic black for the header navigation items. Now, yeah. Okay, do we have any other black? We have here. Okay. Oh, we have two color definitions here. Okay. Now we are using only variables. For the features, sorry, for the list items, we can use the same color as paragraph, color var, black, lights. Okay, and that affects the bullet points in the list. Okay, now we need a contact page, so let's create that. Inside the contents, I will create the contact.md. Not the index.md, contact.md. But when we create that, and if we go to the contacts, it will say page not found. Because we have the index, sorry, we have the contact.md file, but it does not have a HTML file that it represented. That leads us to the layouts folder, and inside the defaults, we should create something called like single HTML, which is referred for the single files. You know, they do not contain childs. For example, a blog post page is a single page, but blog post listing page is a list page, and we're gonna have list as well. And just like what we do with the index HTML, I will define body, and inside the body we can create a section, and inside the section we can add a h1, and that will place the title of the markdown file, and it's still not represented. We can't find the contacts. Oh wait, it now shows index. Okay. Did I done something wrong? So let's do some cheating and go to the my website repository. Yeah, we defined the single HTML in the underscore defaults folder, and it's just correct right now. And we defined the index HTML on the layout folder. I don't know the reason why it's not working. Oh, we called the content file. You shouldn't name your index.md just directly index.md. You should name it as underscore index.md, because underscore files for underscore index file is represents a list, and our home page counted as a list. but the first indexMD underscore indexMD is special, and you can change its contents just like we did with index.html. And that index.html file is going to be only be used by this page, not the other listing pages. And if we go to the contact, we should see our title. And let's do the same for the documentation, but documentation will contain lots of pages. I will create a folder called docs, and inside the docs I will create underscore md file, and let's give the title documentation. If we go to the docs, we're not gonna see something because this documentation file counted as a list. So we have to create a new layout file inside the defaults folder. Let's copy the single HTML and call it list HTML. It should rewrite our list HTML. And now we see our documentation. Now what I want to do is I would like to list my sub pages inside the list pages. So to do that, we need to add some more content to our docs folder. For example, what we can have a installation.md file. It will contain installation instructions for the Billiard Software. What else are we gonna have? We can have a roadmap file. And roadmap. Okay, it's not going to list the sub pages, but they're accessible. Go installation, we can see that. If we go to the roadmap, we should be seeing that, yeah. But we should now list those sub pages inside here. So how to do that, I don't remember. So let's check out the documentation. It can be on the templates. Yeah, here is a explanation about it. What we care is the range. Okay, it just looks like the Golang, and it is Golang indeed. It's using the module coming from Golang itself. Let's go to the list HTML, and inside here we're gonna range through the pages. But okay, are those the sub pages of it? Let's try. So we will be looping through each page, I guess. So we're gonna see the contact and index as well, I think. What I want is I want to show the title. No, it shows the sub pages, which is what we wanted. Okay, good. So how we can do that? We can count it as a list as well. And you're going to be a list item. And since we have our list class, just use it, and we can give this a title h1 class, which is we did not define it yet. And yeah, that's it. So let's define the title h1 speed first. It's going to be black. Font size could be 28. Yeah, okay. We can add the same thing for the single HTML. And what I want next is I want to be able to display the contents of the page. Yeah. It will be rendered as HTML. Our markdown will be converted into paragraphs, lists, whatever it is in it. It will be converted into HTML. So what we can do about styling is we can call this as a general class like contents, and if we go to files, main CSS, we can just configure it. For example, we can access all the paragraphs with this, but since our section paragraphs and content paragraphs will contain the same styling, so we can just apply the same code for both of them. And also we can apply the same styling of h2 and h1. But we may increase the margin of h1. Oh, those are not clickable, so let's make them clickable. Sorry, on the list.html, we going to need a href here, and probably the rel permalink will fix it. Yeah. And those pages are counted as single pages as well. Okay, we now have our home page, contact page, and documentation pages. I don't want to waste time on the details of it, but you should get the whole idea behind the overall structure of the site.